Hey guys, this is Paula from Tots. Hope you're all doing good. This video is just to give you some tips and ideas for starting your own toddler or preschool activity class. Now, although Tots is a dance activity class, these tips can work if you want to start a toddler art class or cooking class or any other activity for young children. Right, so let's get into it. The first tip I would say is to know yourself, your skill set, and be honest with yourself. Do you like children? Would you enjoy working with them? You might enjoy dancing or acting or cooking, but can you teach it to young children? So these are some of the questions you've got to ask yourself, because you have to remember when working with children, it's not easy. For many preschool children, your class might be the first time they're doing something that's aside from their adult, from their mum or another member of their family. So you have to mix your teaching ability with some warmth and friendliness and really be able to connect with the children and their parents as well. And also children do have a short attention span, so you'll need to be able to be very energetic, engage with them, and also be able to deal with sometimes challenging behavior. So the second tip is research your market. What do you want to teach, and is there actually a market for it in your area? You need to check out your competitions, what are they doing and how they're doing it, then figure out how you can do it better. The good thing about preschoolers is that their parents are always looking for something interesting for them to do, so there's quite a lot of choice, but that also makes it quite competitive. So you've got to figure out a way that your activity is going to stand out from the crowd. The third tip is finding your venue. If you're already a teacher and you've got your own studio or you've got your own space, and that's great, and you can utilize the quiet hours during the morning or the early afternoon when your studio is more likely to be empty and quiet. But if you don't have your own space or studio, you can hire one or hall or some sort of premises at somebody else's place. This is a great option if you are experienced and you value your autonomy and you're confident and you can master the variety of skills that you need to turn your class into a success. So make sure you shop around, look for the most cost-effective solution, but also think about location. How accessible is your venue? Is there parking? Are there coffee shops nearby? Is there a lot of footfall at the venue so that you can market to people who might be visiting to do other activities? So these are all things to think about. And you will also need to come up with a marketing strategy for getting the children and the parents to come to your activity. But I can go a bit more into that later. You could find activity centres, children's centres, preschools, nurseries, and offer your activity to them to add to their current program. Again, do some research, think about your prices, call around, email around, set up meetings, and show them how your activity could really work really well with their centre and add value to what they're already doing. And this is probably slightly easier than going at it alone and renting a space, especially if you're just starting, because you will already have some sort of audience base that you can market to. The fourth tip is setting a budget. Starting your activity is not going to be free or cheap. If you are renting, you'll need to think about how you're going to pay the rent on top of the other expenses. So you'll need to think about things like equipment, materials, refreshments, buildings and contents insurance, public liability insurance, professional indemnity insurance, music licenses, a background check. We call it a DBS in the UK, formerly called a CRB check, stationery, marketing materials, things like that. So you do need to do the numbers, write it all down, and work out how you're going to pay for all this. The next tip, number 5, is what are your skills and attributes? Some skills that you will need in addition to being able to teach and work with children are things like time management and organisation, communication, how you can communicate via email, letter, telephone, and social media, accounting, invoicing, compliance, legislation, budgeting, finance, and drawing up contracts. So these are a few things for you to think about when you are starting your dance class or other activity class, because it's not just about teaching, it's all the other stuff that goes along with it. So that was just a very short video to give you a few tips to think about when starting your own toddler or preschool activity class. So if you liked the video, please do remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done already. So hopefully you found those tips useful. If you did, you might want to check out the new book that I've written called The Preschool Success Plan, an independent play provider's guide to working with toddlers. That book is out now, available to purchase. I will put the link in the caption below. So yeah, hopefully you can check it out, and please let me know your feedback or any comments in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.